and I will be sharing the real life mistakes at every stage. Now, my first question was, should we buy AI coding tools for our team? And you already responded in the survey that nobody, like every company is using AI tools right now. But do you know some company which is not using AI in engineering right now? Raise your hand.
I do.
Yeah? Couple? Okay. That's good. That's good. So let's skip level 0 and let's go straight to level 1. You bought the licenses. What's the most common mistakes that people are experiencing after they bought it? So cool things that everyone in the team is thrilled and they can wait to use Quad Code or any other tool. Raise your hand. Okay, good. So, or you think that the teams somehow go 10x faster overnight or over weekend? No? So yeah, you're truly AI native and you experience this level, and it's always hard and people are fighting to use AI tools, and the people who try before are exceptional with the AI usage, but most of them are like experiencing or fighting it. It's the boring part. So what's next? Next, you will hear like the common questions like, I hate code reviews. I'm enjoying coding because like to write code, and I hate reviews. And right now I feel like a reviewer. Or exactly the opposite from most junior engineers. I feel so much faster. I can do everything. It's amazing. I just hitting enter on everything. Or have you experienced the stand up, like the random stand up when you are asking the question, why it's not working? I don't know. AI did it. Like, so common. So right now on level 1, you're mostly doing hackathons and experimenting with the AI adoption refill project. And it's so much fun. You start vibe coding, you are creating amazing features overnight. Everybody is excited. Yeah, and after a weekend of work, you notice that it's unmaintainable. There are so many bugs when somebody is using it. And suddenly you decide, we need to rewrite this. Is absolute like bullshit. It's AI slop. We cannot maintain this. No? But you learn how not to do it. And it's an important part. Okay. Actually, like really, a lot of companies are experiencing exactly this. After they adopt AI tools, they start to experiment. The performance in the production goes down. For example, this is the data from VS Code of Microsoft. And we can see this like over like so many open source repositories and also from internal companies. Because you are basically onboarding a new member in your team, and that's normally slow your team down. So for a couple of weeks or months, you will be action slower. But don't tell anyone, because otherwise they won't pay for the bill. So anyway, after you know how to use it, you know like the basic principles, you're starting to work on like production product. So what are the common issues? Now you understand you cannot hit accept on everything. You need to maintain the architecture. You fight the AI slop, but you're actually obsessed with how to test this thing. Because if you had like good tests, you don't need to read every line, and you can just maintain the architecture. And you start noticing, man, like these tokens are really expensive. But like, it will take us a couple months till the CFO or somebody notice that like these bills are crazy. But you're learning. And the result? You will be so much faster. So for example, this is the open source performance benchmark against OpenAI, Vercel, Microsoft, Google, Cloudflare, Meta on their open source development, which means VS Code, Codex, and so many others. These are the data from the beginning of April. You see tremendous increase in performance. Okay? Really interesting. That's why everybody is hyped up.
So, actually, this was the easy part.
No, it's like with the hackathons. You learn, you experience the performance gain, but now you start to notice that these tokens, especially when you switch from pricing to per team member to token-based pricing, it's really expensive. You start to think about what model should I use to build this? And suddenly, you notice that to keep the same performance over time is actually really, really hard. And you are even more focused towards testing. Because in order to lower the amount of bug it creates, because what we see basically from every company, the amount of bug increase after AI adoption. So you are trying to improve tests as much as possible and how to optimize the process, how to build a better agentic workflows. And like probably experience this when you return back on Monday to the office. What the fuck, guys? You spent $20,000 on this workflow. Why did we build this? It's so common. I even like heard stories that there is like an AI police on the floor when the AI spend increase, somebody is walking the hallway and throwing stuff on these developers. What the fuck, guys? And it's like so funny. And right now nobody cares, but it's a really important question. So now, after you are adopt this, to maintain the performance, it's actually really hard. You know, as you see, like after these companies increase their performance, they're starting to go slowly down. And what's even more interesting, that the spend is going. It's because more and more people in the company is better with the AI tools. They are using more and more expensive models because they are better. I like to describe this as when you are on offsite and you go to a restaurant and the developer has three options what to order in the steakhouse. They can order the cheap steak, like the iron steak, or like a nice ribeye, or really expensive dry aged wagyu. He probably ordered the most expensive one because it's for free for him. So why should I care? And it's the same thing with the LLMs. You know, I always want to use the best model possible because my work and my time is really, really, really important. So actually, it's a really, really big question. Probably you heard about this article when COO of Uber noticed that the AI spend is going nuts, and that after 4 months they basically run out of the budget, and he can't see the improvement in the app, and they're not making more money because of it. So it's a giant topic, and basically that's how you know that you are in level 4. The ROI on these things, it's crazy because you cannot open just your pocket, your engineering, and expect that if you put more money into engineering, you will increase the revenue of the company just because of it. So what you should focus on level 4 is that you still need the performance increase. You need to be efficient with your engineers, but you need to watch the spend. You need to monitor how much you spend on improving the performance of the engineering team. And what's right now like really common is engineers look more performing. They are committing much more. They're doing so much more pull requests, and they're actually not doing like that much bugs, but they are not doing the work somebody told them to do. They are not aligned with the roadmap because they realize, oh man, I'm so powerful with this tool. I will build the solution I always dream on building. And it's like, yeah, no problem. It could help. But if like 200 people are doing this every day, oh man, it's really expensive, you know? And we are not making more money because of it. So it's right now the frontier of AI ROI. It's really hard to prove that more code or more PRs or the higher performance increase the revenue. But what you can track, it increase the delivery of the roadmap. So you can track on the level 4 that because my engineers are faster, they are not doing that much bugs or maintenance as before, they are cost efficient, and they work on the stuff that is in the roadmap. So what's level 5? So have you heard about Anthropic? So all these companies think they are AI native. You know, they all started to adopt AI tools many months ago, and they all think they are like amazing because these engineers who are working there are like awesome. But you probably noticed that the difference between OpenAI and Meta is like six times. Is OpenAI overperforming other companies? It's mostly because of Codex. That's the main driver of the performance gain of OpenAI. And what's even more interesting is the distribution of the performance. You know, you probably heard about these 10x, 100x engineers, even like many years before. And it's interesting to see that 60% of the performance from, I think this survey was from, or not survey, this measurement was done on almost 1,000 engineers. The 60% is from 10% of people. Because these really amazing, very exceptional people started to code. They're not doing the architecture work. They are just building, and they are able to build crazy cool stuff in unheard of speed. And there's so much evidence for it, you know? Like, Andrei Karpathy joined Anthropic a couple weeks ago, actually. Because Anthropic is realizing that if one person is able to deliver 10 times or 100 times more than others, I don't care paying him like $1 million a year. I'm fine with that because there's an ROI on it. The same thing with CTO of Bachel who joined them for crazy amount of money. I think like the lowest salary as an engineer in Anthropic right now is around 500K a year. Because they understand and they can prove in Anthropic that there's an ROI on it. I think it's like a giant opportunity for everybody in the room. You know, if you can prove your worth to a company and you are increasing the revenue of the company because of your work, I have no problem to pay you more. That's why basically salespeople are the best paid people in normal company because they can prove that they are worth it. So yes, you can improve what you are measuring. I will be here sitting, probably close to the bar. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. One last thing, the 5th level is not the end, you know, probably like in a couple months we will figure out what's the 6, 7, and 8.
Perfect. So thank you, Kat. Please, if you guys stay here for a little bit. Do you have a couple of questions for you, Kennedy, that comes to your mind? What do you say? Are you good with the explanation? The one thing I want to talk about is that Halfinen is not, of course, in Czech rounds. Let's not talk mentions. And we have a question. The other thing is, of course, you will be surprised that these days it also these roles are also open in our region, in our territory. There are people such as product builders who have the Google salary pay here in this territory. So that's really important to understand and to buy it on top of that. So your question, please, was?
There was a point in the level people who hate for the view.
Yeah.
It is a little bit of like this level of like this a lot of this level of view. 1, 2, 3, 5. When developers for the review not code but lens and specifications.
I think like that's fine, you know, it's like I heard so many engineers like at this stage when they were writing code reviews to actually quit engineering. You know, they're thinking maybe I should be, I don't know, bartender or whatever, you know, because he started to hate the job. to reviewing the playlist, it's fine. It's definitely like okay. It's just like it's a common question.
Yes. Perfect. For Daniel?
Yeah.
I couldn't help thinking when I was listening to you whether everything you just said is actually not a proof that measuring individual developers' performance is useless to begin with.
Yeah, it's a really hard question, and I can give you like the response, you know. And actually, I agree with you. You know, on the individual level, it's really, really complicated. It's subjective, and there's so many members in the team, and every person role in the team is different. No, but in order to, if you start to measure team, it actually makes sense. No, because there are like more people. But if you try to measure team without measuring each individual member, you cannot with bullshit number. So in order to measure a person or a team correctly, you need to go to PRs, you need to go to the code to understand what they actually built.
Does it actually matter how PR performs or how code performs? Doesn't it matter whether the revenue doesn't go up?
It matters if it helps to deliver your roadmap faster.
Does it matter to deliver the roadmap faster if the revenue doesn't go up?
No, it works with the assumption that in the roadmap and fast roadmap delivery generates more ROI to a company. Oh,
Like that is students.
yeah, you know, and trying to be like generalist with this because with some teams it's easy, you know, if you're working like in some teams which basically if they add this button, the company earns I don't know $1 million. It's easy to prove.
So it's the app if the roadmap isn't consisting of beds and the product manager actually knows that each piece is going to be a dip.
And yeah, and even though if you choose the broad roadmap to build, it's actually better to deliver it faster so you learn faster. It was a broad thing. Yeah. So you know that's the only thing that it's like actually like transferable across like companies with thousands or hundreds of engineers. Because somebody working on customer care, it's so hard to prove their ROI. You can just prove they deliver the roadmap faster, and that should be enough.
Thank you for the deal.
Yeah.
I had a few questions, but I think the second one is very similar to the Danny Morgan. We see that these are new opportunities as much as they are probing track. But why are companies not thinking about it from the same perspective that they used to be? For instance, when you're developing and sharing projects, you always add diets. Why are companies not adopting, let it around what should be done today? And then the second is the budgets, right? Why are companies not thinking about the company's option as a review?
I'm in middle follow. Like, yeah, they are thinking about this. Like, they are thinking about it like this. But the problem is that some engineers, if they are spending $10,000 per month for AI, it's actually worth it. They actually increase the revenue of the company. They have no clue to decide who you should give more tokens or no. You know, with some people, makes no sense. You know, it's a junior developer who create like 20 new PRs who slow down the whole team. You know, why? So suddenly, like they see that if they give these guys more tokens, it's worth their time, and to some, it's not. And this is the struggle. If the tokens actually help you deliver the roadmap faster or not. Because if I run, I don't know, 50 agents who will help you with this, I have no problem with the spend. If I play over a weekend with a thing that where two AI agents are talking to each other and you end up with $20,000 there on nothing, you're not okay with this.
Okay. Perfect. So we have all the three questions. So thank you, Gabriel, boss, for your can.
Yeah.